Hello, 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 Deb. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you doing, Jewel?
Doing okay. Making sure we have good connection tonight. And I'll be sending the link out for those that want to come on and participate. Feel free to do so. You can hear me okay?
Absolutely. I can.
Okay. Okay, and I'm going to put the link out for those that are watching from YouTube or Facebook. Feel free to come on. It's another Saturday night. Deb and I are going to be talking about different things. As you can hear or read the description, feel free to come on. So Deb, what's been going on with you? How you've been doing?
Jewel, I think we have a bad connection because you're breaking up.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What can we do about that? Not tonight, connection. Connection is secure. We have a full platform. Oh, Deb is coming in and out, everybody. So while we try to connect, it's her, I think it's her line. Let's see when she comes back on. I am going to add this to I'm going to add uh, the link to our YouTube. So feel free to grab the link if you want the link for tonight. I'm gonna give Deb a minute. I see you, so give me a second to add the link and see how we can get others to come on and participate. Because, like I say, um, you know, should we be mad or should we be concerned? That's for um, that's for everybody. Not that we're trying to do anything different, but we just want to uh, bring awareness to people and let's just talk about it. Let's talk about what's real and those that know better. Okay, Deb, I think I have it on. Okay, okay. So I see you, but you can't see me. Ah, okay. We're going to wait for Deb to come back on. I've pinned the link in our YouTube, on our YouTube live. So feel free to go over on YouTube, grab the link, Simply Jewel TV. Just grab the link. You should have gotten a notification if you're watching. That'll be great. Until we get this worked out, Deb and I are going to be talking about different things tonight. Should we be mad or should we be concerned? That's the topic. I got you back on. Are you okay now? I think you're delayed. Are you close to a window, Deb? Okay, while we're waiting to see if she can Uh-oh. Anybody else on there? Anybody else want to come on? We're waiting for Deb to I don't know, see like she can see if she can get something. But if anybody wants to come on, like I said, we're talking about should we be mad or just concerned? There's a lot that we can talk about tonight. And so, waiting for Deb to come on. If anybody wants to grab the link for tonight, go to Simply Jewel TV and you can grab the link, be on the platforms with us, and go from there. Okay. I'm going to see if I can. Uh, If I can send out a few more while we're waiting. I'm going to turn on some music while we're waiting for Deb. Let me see how I can turn on some music for us, okay? While we're waiting for Deb. Let's do some night driving. I don't have my tea tonight. I have my water. Hello, hello, hello out there. How are you doing? While we're waiting for Deb, just gonna send out some invites. And I'm also going to wait for her to come on so we can get the party started. It is Saturday night. You're watching the Saturday Night Talk. And that's what we're doing tonight. Okay, so feel free to come on, grab a snack, and let's just do what we can do, okay? I'm waiting for a few more people. I'll see if she's on. Let me turn the music down. I see her back on. And it's going to be a nice Saturday night. Just when we're ready, the people, the imps are in the way. How you doing?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sure said it.
The imps are in the way. And we already know this. Why? Because we have something good to talk about tonight. The imps are in the room. So come on in, imps. Grab the link so that you can voice your opinion and we can too. How about that?
All right now. We
All
all
right.
have an opinion.
Exactly. So what you been doing, Deb?
Well, I don't know. Something I want to bring up. Um, I call them like Facebook spies. People that you don't know that they're there until whenever, or they call you and you have a conversation with them. They say, "Oh, I've been watching you," or "Oh, I saw your post about this, this, and this," but they don't like a post. They don't share a post. They don't say anything, but they sure get on Facebook and be scoping out what you're doing. Why?
Hey, now you know they really do, don't they? Well, because most people are used to speaking their mind, but only to those people that they think they can trust. Come to find out, they may not be able to trust them either. So, with that being said, yeah, that's part of the social platform, honey. What we gonna listen? Let them look, let them lurk. Because 9 times out of 10, what are they doing? They are taking in the conversation, they're taking in the message, and I'll say this, if you don't have anybody critiquing you, then you're really not doing anything. But if you are being critiqued and people are following you, then what does that mean? probably that you're doing something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at the point where I've learned over the years that you just let people bring comments. Some comment and some don't. But you know what they say? They're in the bushes. But those are the people that will carry the bone, and they'll spread it to other people so that other people can come on and see what you're doing, see what you're saying. And at this point, it's okay with me, because, those that have an ear to hear will come aboard. Everybody's got an audience, whether they like it or not, whether they're good or bad. There's going to always be somebody looking. But you know what? Um, I'm sure we'll find more people saying the same thing, but just keep going, because there's so many people in the world that everybody's got an audience. Everybody has somebody that they can relate to or not. But this is what I say to those that are not. There's so many others, thousands of social platforms. If they don't like what we are saying, they can always go to somebody else's platform. But for me, I'm serious about what I do, and I know you're serious about what you do. So keep going, just keep going, because we're here to help people. We're not a gossip page. We're here to help, give resources, and let people vent. So if they can't come on this platform and vent, uh, they don't want to engage. They just want to lurk. And what they used to say back in the day, nosy people.
Yeah, well,
Nosy.
I think that's one of the things of social media. People get nosy. They like drama. They like controversy. The more drama and controversy, the more they'll watch.
Right. And we already know that. But we can do controversy, we can do drama, because why? Cuz I'm at the point where I want to ask people, why aren't they handling their own business? How come they don't know when they are having um disorders, or if they're manic, or if they're constantly in confrontation with people? That ought to let you know there's an issue there. There's something going on. And that's the kind of thing they should be paying attention to, or platforms that they can gain knowledge. You need knowledge nowadays to figure out how to get through all this stuff. It's a lot going on right now.
Well, Jewel, those individuals you just described don't feel they have a problem. So they don't feel what you are saying or what I am saying um, is a benefit to them. Until they realize that they need help, they won't get help. Some of it may be pride. Some of it could be, I don't know if I want to use the word ignorance, or lack of knowledge, or lack of the opportunity to do proper self care and take care of themselves. Sometimes people are so busy running around taking care of somebody else, um, that they're not focused on themselves, and they don't identify that they have a problem.
Girl, you
Everybody else
better
has the
say that.
problem.
Okay, say it, because that is the truth. Nobody wants to say that they have the problem. They want to blame everybody else. Everybody else has a problem. Nobody wants to admit that they need help. Okay, let's just put that out there. They're too proud. And that's one thing about people this day and age. They're too proud. Listen, there's so much going on in the worldwide. have you noticed the news lately? Have you noticed all the killing and shooting and stabbings and the housing issues? We have so many problems. I'm trying to understand, why are we still talking about, you know, uh, clothes? Why are we still talking about materialistic things? Why are we still showing off all the places that we're traveling to when the world is in a crisis? And the news, I mean, I get we can't save the world. I get that. But let's talk about the issues. Let's talk about what it used to be like versus now. It's huge.
Yeah, I don't know. People don't they don't talk anymore, Jewel. They don't talk to each other. They don't have friends. They don't talk to their family. They internalize everything, and then as soon as they don't get their way, woe is me. You
That's
know,
true.
everybody is after me. Everybody dislikes me. Nobody wants to help me. I'm okay. No, you're not okay. And it's okay not to be okay. Just tell
Yeah.
the truth about it.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Tell the truth about it. You
Tell
know,
the truth about it.
but you know
We
what?
all have meltdown moments and times in our life, and we try not to stay there. But, let's keep it real. If you got a problem, go get help. There's a lot of information out there. I mean, Jewel, maybe some of our viewers don't know exactly what you do, what resources you can offer. So enlighten them. Let them know what you can do that may be able to help them and benefit them.
That's right. A lot of people want to have fun. Hi, Marva. How are
Hi,
you
Miss
tonight?
Marva.
I see you on YouTube. Grab the link and come on the platform uh, if you have time. If not, it's perfectly okay. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are not okay. But this is the time for people to be open and honest. This is the time for people to um, engage. This is the time to have a conversation. This is the time to voice your opinion, and we can debate. We can have debates. We can have exercises, even with just however many people come on the platform for others to see. But we can also do this privately. But a lot of people don't know what I do because, number one, let me just say this: people in today's society, what do? They look at the picture, they don't read the description. That's a problem, because on my page, you're going to get the picture and you're going to get the description. But if you don't read, you're just going to like the photo. You're not going to engage. You're not going to put your 2 cents in. You're not going to reap the encouragement that I put in the description. So, this is a good time for people to go to all my social platforms and, what they say, binge, go back. Because, see, I've been on here for a long time, not really promoting. I didn't do a lot of promoting because I had my own private clients, and they were able to connect with me on my social platforms. But since the Rona, I decided to take it a little deeper, which is why people are starting to see that I'm doing so much more on these platforms. But you're right about that. People need to find, because this is where we're going. Um, TV, to me, will be obsolete pretty soon. And then what are you going to be watching is YouTube, uh, all these different social platforms. So they're going to have to learn how to engage. Some people will comment. Some people will comment and say nasty things, but the more interaction you get, the more up the algorithms you go. So they're going to have to learn.
Well, some people aren't teachable.
I know.
They don't want to know better. They don't want to do better. They just want to complain and play victim. And after a while, you know, you can only play victim so long.
That's right.
And in this day and time, makes no sense for people to be struggling and having the problems that they're having. People are checking out of here younger now due to mental health issues. And people saw them on especially in our celebrity world, we would see them smiling, laughing, cutting up, sharing jokes, clowning around. You would think that their life was a bed of roses and they didn't have a problem. And next thing you know, they're dead.
Hey, what you say? You
You
know
just have
why?
some memories. You have some memories of the shows and the roles that they played, and then you're sitting there like, "Oh, I love this person. Oh, I would have never thought." Well, don't be put yourself in that shape that someone will say, "I never thought about you." If you keep hiding behind whatever is bothering you, you could be a memory in someone's memory bank. And it's time out for people just to sit there and not know how to decompress. They don't know how to ask for help. They have so much pride. The Bible talks about pride extremely clearly. um they don't know how to engage. They want to act like they have it all together, and you see their comments, you see their mannerisms, you see their body language, and you've been trained in this from the medical side to see all those warning signs. But as soon as you ask them that very honest question, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. And they jump defensive.
Right, right, right. Well, see, you're right about that now. Uh, People will say they're okay. Now that I know for certain, but they're really not okay. What they're now to me, what I think they're saying is they don't trust. That's why they say they're okay, because they don't want anybody to know that they're not okay. So there's so many different ways for that need help, those that even like everybody needs help or everybody needs an ear to hear because some
Mhm.
people can figure it out and some people can't. That's the sad part because some people can figure it out, they'll do their best, but a lot of people get stuck and they can't figure it out.
Well, that's true. And some people will make strides and leaps and hurdles, and some will just stay in that place and become consumed and don't even realize that they're lacking so much in their life, and they're wondering why their life isn't moving forward, and they wonder why they're not being blessed. They're wondering why they can't get along with family and friends. They wonder why they short circuit and start yelling and screaming and acting out of character. Frustration is real. We have real talk on here about real issues. Mental health is a disease. And I realize that people have trust issues. However, you can only use that as an excuse so long. I mean, you got to get past that barrier. Everybody is not out to destroy everyone. And we've got to find individuals that can help us. And I honestly believe if people were open and sincere and told the truth about it, I do believe that the Lord would direct them to the right services. I mean, Jewel, what you do have to offer in your program is phenomenal. And,
Thank you.
I know that people sometimes they won't use the resources that they're given. They won't even explore them. There are
Right.
faith-based programs out there. There are secular programs out there. Oh, well, I don't like my doctor. My doctor doesn't listen to me. Well, your doctor is not the only physician in your community. If you are not um, receiving the proper care and support you deserve as that individual's patient, then if you have insurance, call your 800 number and see who else is in network. If you are self-pay, take some time out from watching TV, watching all these reality shows that aren't doing you any good,
Right.
and spend some of that quality time by yourself dialing to find someone to get you the help that you need. And so much for my rant today. I'm just tired of people making excuses now.
Listen, I understand because people are not okay. And I totally understand because why? You've got, listen, we are in a time where we cannot depend on medical personnel to help us. Number one, they're not always okay.
What
Number,
you said.
yeah.
Amen.
Number two, they misdiagnose. I do know for certain people have been misdiagnosed, found out that they've had uh, diseases, and it has exacerbated to the point where there's no return. So we need to take control of our own well being. We can't assume that we're going to be okay. We don't have glass bodies where we can see that we're not okay. You can't see your intestines. You can't see your heart. You can't see your lungs. You can't see your organs. But to wait for an aha moment, or not even an aha moment, to wait to get that wake up call is what I should say, may be too late. And then here I sit trying to give people healthy choices. Now, let me say this to those that are so busy listening to their friends talking about, oh, my friend said to do this, or my friend said to do that. Quit listening to those friends, number one, because their body
Amen.
chemistry is not your body chemistry. And then they'll say, oh, my friend, she takes this, or my friend, she takes that. That's not your body chemistry. Another thing, I'm thinking, here we go with our title. Should I be mad or should I be concerned? I'm almost concerned. I'm not mad. I'm glad that people are making healthy choices, but they're going about it wrong. They need to talk about what it's doing for them. Quit recommending what it should be or what they use to get other people to use it. People don't have the money, number one. And then, oh, it's expensive. Okay, but if it works for you, that's great. But it may not work for the other person. So that's why people need to quit listening to what other people are taking. And then, let me tell you, I know people are watching my channel because why? Because now all of a sudden they're saying, oh, you should go get your blood checked. How would they know that? Because everybody wasn't saying that until I started saying one of my modalities and how I help people, and that you can't possibly know what to buy unless you know your blood. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants to go green. Everybody wants to eat healthy. Everybody's using the words decompress, get into alignment, health and wellness choices. What's the other one? I saw somebody the other day, my journey. Yes, you're trolling me. I know I'm not the only one that says these things, but consistently for the last 11 years, those are my terms that I've been talking about. All of a sudden, they want to go vegan. All of a sudden, they want to go plant based. And I already said I'm not plant based, but mostly I could be pescatarian, but I do eat chicken. I do eat seafood, certain ones because I have allergies. But I've been living my life this way. Now, all of a sudden, you see people saying the same thing on their platforms. And they're people I follow. They're people I started engaging with. So I know they've gone to my platform to who is she? What is she about? And that kind of thing. But yeah, I can go on and on. I'm ranting too. But like you say, Deb, I look forward to Saturdays now. You planted that seed. So I look forward to talking on Saturdays because we document what we say, but we can also see that people do follow us and they do watch. They may not do it this very minute, but they do watch.
Well, I'm glad that people are watching, but I want people to be doers. Get you some help. Work on you. Do
Yeah,
some self care. Love yourself. If you are struggling, tell the truth about it and go see someone. We gotta stop being in the closet sick. We need to
yeah.
be come out of the closet and face it and say, hey, I have a problem here. And I think church is great. I am a person of faith. However,
Come on
majority of the
now.
pastors out there do not have mental health training. And they are a shepherd. They are the under shepherd. They are your pastor. They can pray with you, but sometimes you need to go to a physician and have some assessments done and tell them what you're thinking. We have people, a lot of people sitting in churches today that have mental health issues that may be diagnosed and may not be diagnosed. But I guarantee you, if they are diagnosed and taking medicine, probably nobody in their congregation knows it because they
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to be stigmatized.
I agree with that. And I also agree, um, those that are taking medicine. Matter of fact, I think some have been taking it for so long that they're afraid to decrease and start dealing with the issues. I think a lot of people take it for a long period of time because number one, they either don't know that they can decrease and start getting counseling and dealing with the issues. But see, Deb, we have so many stigmas with that as well. It takes a while to find a good therapist, number one. Number two, they leave and they don't want to have to dump into another therapist. And then they don't have the tools. And sometimes they don't even, they have a therapist that has no clue how to help them because they can't relate, or just that they're in their own little world and they go with the let's call it a syllabus. You know, a
Hmm.
lot of these therapists use the E5, and they have misdiagnosed people. Now, do I want to take it deeper? Okay, since you ask. Uh, one
You go,
problem
girl.
is
Go ahead now.
see,
Educate us. Come
I'm
on
gonna
now.
yeah, I'm gonna take it deeper because why? Because I've noticed in the community we stereotype people of color.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, this is a fact. This I do know. Caucasian people are they are diagnosed with ADD, ADHD, and anxiety. In the black community, they are diagnosed with post traumatic no, they're diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia, but when it's really post traumatic stress disorder. Why? Because they're being profiled, excluded, harassed, and so many other things. And they may also have chronic anxiety, but because they don't know how to deal with us, they want to put us in a category. That's why I say I don't always, unless you know that person, unless you spent time with that person, you you can't put them all together in this basket. Now,
That's right.
back in the day in the black community, they used to say, "Oh, there ain't no, but nothing's wrong with them. Go sit down somewhere." When in
That's right.
actuality, it was something, but they didn't know how to identify what was going on. Now we're in 2023 and we have tools, but the problem I have is you can't identify if you've never had that experience. So we need more psychiatrists, more psychologists to help get this thing in order because it's a lot going on. Um, and
Absolutely. You know, in Tennessee, we have a shortage of both. And I'm going to throw this out here while I'm on my rant today. There
go
is
ahead.
a difference between a nurse practitioner, a nurse practicing NP, and a doctor, DR, and a DO.
Right.
You all need to do your research and you need to stop talking to nurse practitioners as a doctor because they
Ah,
are not a doctor unless they have a doctorate degree in being a nurse practitioner. These and then if I'm having mental health issues, and I'm talking about me now, I am not going to go to a nurse practitioner. I A lot of the people, you know, especially in the rural communities, they have a lot of nurse practitioners. Um, I guess because a lot of them grew up there and they want to come back and treat. I think that's wonderful. But if you are a good professional, you need to say, this is not my expertise, and be willing to give someone a referral to get the help that they need. I'm tired of nurse practitioners, and I see this in what I do, putting people on Clonopin or other drugs. And when you ask them, did you have an assessment? Well, no, I just told her I
ah,
was feeling, you know, a little I was having some depression or I couldn't sleep. And there you already shaking your head because you know why I'm on my rant now today. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. You all need to say, no, I don't want any medicine. If your insurance requires a referral, you need to open your mouth and say, excuse me, I think I need to see a specialist that specializes in my condition, and
Oh,
stop
wait a
letting
minute.
people just write you a prescription for that may not be what you need.
Right, right, right. Well, what is the nurse practitioner doing? She's writing the prescription. Is
Yes.
Okay, so is she under a doctor? See, this is what I'm talking about. They want people to have these labels behind their names, and they are not proficient. But people like me, who's out in the community, they act, well, what is your credential? Okay, so what are you saying? Are you saying these nurse practitioners are just having a virtual meeting and prescribing medication? Wait,
No,
what?
they're not virtual, honey. They actually go in the office and see them. But this is their collaborator or their preceptor is not there, not in the facility. And by our law, they have to review those charts. But they're probably not reviewing them till the next month or the following week. So by then, that patient has gone out, started on a medication that they may or may not need. It may not be the correct medication for them. And I just wish that people would stop giving people medication and refer them to the ones that can properly do the diagnostic tests and assessments.
Yeah,
A lot of
well,
people, I tell patients all the time, oh, I go to Dr. So and so, and I look at them. That person is not a doctor. They're a nurse. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, Google does. Let's look them up. And the
okay.
thing is, these nurse practitioners aren't even correcting them.
Oh, wow.
No, no, ma'am.
Okay. They're not a PA. They're okay. A PA is a physician assistant.
Assistant.
The
Hmm.
nurse practitioner is going around prescribing medication and nobody's checking the work.
I don't know if they are checking or not, but I am seeing patients that probably do not need some of the medication they're prescribed. Sometimes they are prescribed so much medication that they almost are lethargic and, a zombie state. And I'll just straight up tell them, uh,
It's too
you need to
much.
go have some assessments done. You really need to call your insurance and you need to see who is in network and make sure that you are on the right medication for your condition. I can't advise you whether you are or you are, but when you're sitting in a chair in my office and you about ready to fall out of the chair, I know that there's a problem.
Yeah. So maybe it's too much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. So they could be calling me. And I'm gonna ask some questions. But yeah, if they're like a zombie, it's either the wrong kind or it's too much. It's okay.
And then I asked the other question I talked to them about, are they running any blood work and are you having a urine screen when you go to these physicians? Don't write me a prescription. And I had two patients in the past 2 weeks tell, well, when I go to this doctor, they don't even take my temperature or don't do my vital signs. What?
Okay.
Did they treat you
I've
and
heard enough. No,
I
ma'am,
mean,
no, ma'am.
you mean you don't ever get your temperature? No, she never puts her hand on you. And I said, and you go to this person for medical treatment. I said, wait a minute, let's back up here. I said, you have been to the ER in your lifetime, I'm sure. And they both acknowledged yes. I said, great. When you go to the ER, do they not triage you? Do they not get your temperature, take your blood pressure, ask you your height, your weight, all of those kind of things? And they said yes. But you go to a nurse practitioner who doesn't do that, and you think that's okay? I said, well, no,
Yeah.
it's not okay. And I said, but I'm sure your insurance is being billed for that service.
Oh, I bet. I bet. No, and come on now. There's got to be who is monitoring these people?
I don't know, but I have been, the past few weeks have been very, very frustrating dealing with individuals that come in and say that they're having problems, and they acknowledge they have problems, but they go see their doctor, as they say, and the doctor won't touch them. I said, I'm not going to go to a doctor that won't check my vital signs. I'm just telling you about me.
Girl.
You mean they don't draw any blood, they don't have you do any urine? That's a red flag. I mean, they might just be collecting your money and your insurance benefits.
Or not, or just not okay. There, I mean, come on now. When you go to the doctors, that's what you go for. You already know the first thing they're gonna do is check blood pressure, height, weight, measurements, urine, blood. Come on now. So could they have gone to this doctor? I don't know, not knowing that there's, yeah, we're gonna have to get deeper into that because I have never heard of a medical facility that doesn't check vitals.
Well, I've heard it, and I'm like, why? And I ask them, I'll ask them tough questions. I said, why are you staying? You both are telling me you have a medical problem and you are dissatisfied. Why have you let this go on for 6 months and that person's not doing anything? They
Yeah,
evidently
that's how
do
long
not
they've been
care.
going.
Well, they've been
They,
their nurse practitioner for longer than that, but they've been going here lately for the same thing. And the help that the one of them got received was through going through the ER, and they did some tests, and then they let the physician, that the nurse practitioner they were seeing, know, and she got those labs and then referred them on. I said, what if you hadn't gone to the emergency room and they hadn't done blood and urine? What was gonna happen? I mean, it's I just don't understand. People have must take ownership of their health care and their body.
yeah,
Nobody knows your body but you. You are in it 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So if you don't take care of you, nobody else will.
right. And that is unfortunate. Um, wow. While I'm eating another Tootsie Roll, this is making me nervous. But what I was going to say is, people, surely the world is not that oblivious to the fact that they are not getting a regular physical. Let me just put it out here. For those that haven't been to a doctor in a long time and need to make a doctor's appointment, the first thing they do is blood pressure, height, weight, measurement, temperature, pulse, and then they do blood work. If they've never seen you or it's been over a year, that's the first thing they do. so that when they take your blood, they know exactly if you are within range. Then, if you still don't feel better, then that's where I come in to help you figure it out because I know a little bit more than you can uh, read, let's just say. And for the most part, the doctor is to have you. Then, so something happened to our connection. I don't know if they turning it on or off or what, but let me say this, people. We've got to do better. Um, there's so much going on. Um, I'm not sure. Connection went down. So it might be Deb's. I'm eating my Tootsie Roll. Here she is. I'm eating
Yes,
my
ma'am.
Tootsie Roll. Yeah, so
Everybody needs a little chocolate in their life sometime.
honey, I got one more and I'm trying to save it, but listening listening to you about different parts of the country and these nurse practitioners, I'm confused. What are they saying? What is going on? And why is it that we now have an abundance of nurse practitioners now? What's going on? Do they think that they're close to being an MD or something? Have you what's the
I
buzz on that?
I really don't know what the issue is. I think when you live in small rural communities, um, it's hard to probably get physicians to come in that area simply because they're probably not going to make the type of income they would like to make to sustain their family, possibly out of a rural community. However, I don't care what the reason is. Everybody has been to an emergency room, and if they are not doing a triage step in your physician's office, whether it be a MD, DO, or NP, then you need to be asking why, or better yet, you need to be getting up out of there because something could be going on in your body that a urine test or a blood test will reveal. But if they
Right.
aren't doing those things, then it's going to remain in your body untreated and nobody's going to know anything about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, why are you a nurse practitioner? And you listen, that's nursing 101. That's medical school 101. That's even CNA 101. You always take a vital. So I'm confused about that one. Are you sure?
Yeah, I was a little confused about it. And yes, I'm sure. And I told them, you need to call your insurance company today and ask if you could have, a different provider. See, this is the thing. These are people that are on Medicaid, and I guess they feel like they don't know or this is the treatment that they deserve. But, you up here having health problems, and first of all,
Yeah,
they both said that they have never been touched by their doctor.
yeah.
They refer to the nurse practitioner as a doctor. I said, they've never checked your reflexes. They've never looked in your ears. They've never checked your glands or your throat. Make sure your thyroid, nothing's enlarged in that area. No, no, Miss Deborah, she doesn't touch us. I said, well, to me, if she's doing that to you, she's probably doing it to other individuals. And
Oh,
that's somebody
no.
that needs to be reported to the health board because
Well,
they might be in the wrong field
yeah,
because nursing is, not trying to be rude or disrespectful. It is a touchy feely type of position. They should touch you at some point in your medical encounter. You every time you go to the doctor's office, they should be putting their hands on your body somehow, doing an exam.
wait. Don't say somehow. Say they should be getting um, blood pressure because,
Yes.
yeah, because in these days, we don't want them to. You got to know a good touch and a bad touch. But
Oh
when you
yes.
go
Oh
to
yes.
the doctor, you're going to have to get a blood pressure. So, listen, are you able to direct them to another facility to get their biometrics done and also check their medication, Deb? You know, you can call me. I can
Mm-hmm.
help till they can get to another doctor. Now, come on. Don't let that medication, if they're having an adverse reaction, they need to stop taking that medicine, number one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every medication doesn't work for everyone. And number one, we're not doing an assessment. You're just taking 5 to 7 minutes in a room, asking some question. They giving you whatever story they want to give you for that day, and you're writing a script. We got to stop the pill mill mentality out here. Everything does not require a script. Some
Right,
things they need to do is get some tools under their
right.
belt.
And
Maybe
are they
they need to
drinking water?
journal.
Yeah. Are they
And are
drinking
they
water?
drinking water?
Are they having a bowel movement? I mean, come on, Deb. You're going to have to, they're coming to your office. You're going to have to figure it out, or you're going to have to intervene, make them stop taking medicine if
Well,
they're falling asleep in your office, or
oh,
this.
absolutely. I'm like, we triage patients just in a counseling session. I mean, because I want to make sure I don't want to be having people come in with 103 and 104 temperature sitting in my presence. I don't know what virus or whatever you may have been exposed to, or if it's a bacteria. So I want to know if you are healthy. You know, I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, if I do this in a counseling session, why isn't this happening when you're going for medical treatment?
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Well, at this point in the game, you're able to intervene. You're able to let them know
Oh,
that,
absolutely. Mhm.
okay, because that to me right there, listen, I don't know, but somebody needs to get an understanding, because that is not okay. And people are
No.
surely not that naive that they don't know that they need to get blood pressure, height, weight measurements, blood, urine. That's just a basic exam. Come on now. What's really going on? I,
Well, this is what started the whole controversy. Um, we do extra screenings, especially when individuals have been in active addiction. We check to see if they have Hep C, HIV, STDs. We want a current physical yearly and a TB test. Okay.
Okay.
You would be surprised how many individuals that think when they do get blood work done that those panels are automatically ran. That's not the case, and you know that from nursing. That's, what typically is a panel is a CBC.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to explain unless you are asking your physician to run these panels, um, it's not something that they typically do. And I think we as a society need to change that, especially if you are dealing with individuals that have had a substance misuse, because you I would think as a medical professional, you would want that information yourself to ensure that that person is healthy. And if they were a needle user in their past, you would want to get them the necessary treatment out there for that. And you hear a lot, oh, I just went to my doctor and I had a physical, I can bring you that lab work. And most of the time they are only doing the general CBC. Some may run some thyroid panels. Most of the time, they're not running those, to ensure that things are okay. And to the average, well, my doctor should know. Well, I'm not saying they don't know, but you ought to know too.
Hello. Yeah, the baseline. The baseline. They need to be know what their blood pressure is, um, their baseline, their pulse. A1Cs, you can run it in the doctor's office, um, but they will tell them either before or after. But then again, they could be waiting for all of their other blood work. But within a 2 week period, you should know, and the doctors would know sooner than later, because if they're not within normal range, then the doctor will be calling them to let them know what they need to do. But yeah, this is a whole nother. This went to a whole different topic, because I can't even fathom that people don't know when they go to the doctors. They go for a physical, and that includes blood pressure, just biometrics, height, weight measurements, blood and urine. To, that's the only way they're going to know if you're okay, or that's your baseline. Now,
Well,
was this person in pain or anything?
the crazy part, I will say, yes. Person has IBS, and
Okay.
the person also is having some gallbladder issues and may have to have the gallbladder removed. And she found out about the gallbladder stuff when she went to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
She uh, was having symptoms of gallbladder problems. And when she went, she told this practice, I call them practicing nursing practicing, individual, that they told her they believe it's her gallbladder is causing her all of this problem. And then after the labs were done on the hospital side, I think she tried to act concerned and did send the individual to a nutritionist to make some dietary changes. But even in that, that's been a good 5 or 6 months, and the gallbladder situation hasn't changed for this individual. And and she talked about it very openly during our session. And I did. I said, when you leave here, you can go sit in the waiting room or in your car. but you don't need to leave this parking lot until you call and find you another healthcare professional,
Right,
because
right,
you have
right.
5 children. You have 5 children that need their mother, and you can't keep functioning like this. And this seems excessive to me. And there's no way I would want it as a human being to be going on for 6 months and still no resolution.
No, listen, Deb. I don't know
Now,
who this.
I could just speak for myself. Okay, there's some things I'm not gonna put up with.
Well, why would she? I mean, I'm confused. When you're in that much pain, you have kids. Are you sure? No, I'm
I
sorry.
sat there and when I that session was over, I was like, it was so exhausting that I think I'm like you. What's going on here? And I think I need to take a break, because this is just it's out of my it's out of my league. But I have enough sense to know that that this is not what I would say is good patient care.
Okay, so
You
why didn't you call me? Why are you? Why?
know,
I, I'm confused. Why didn't you call me?
girl, let me tell you something. Well, I did, and I will be honest with you. I did talk to her about what you do, and I suggested she
Look,
needs to get all of her. Now, all I can do is suggest, and I gave her your information, and I told her she needed to start requesting her medical records from the hospital and from this practitioner. I was very strategic. I said, wherever you go is going to want your medical history. And with you having this going on for several months, they're going to want to look at those, your blood work from the hospital. They'll probably want to do blood work when you go to them to see if there have been any changes, in the blood work. So that gives them a starting point, and to see if it's improved or if it's gotten worse. Just don't go to another physician and start having them run tests when you already have some history that is going to be relevant to your care. But I'm like, I just can't believe it. So, yes, she does have your number to follow up. And I knew that was something that you would want to know too. I know that labs tell the
yeah,
story. People can tell you anything, but your blood work and your urine won't lie. It's going to
right.
be
And
accurate.
listen, I don't know how old this person is, but
Mm, late 30s.
if she doesn't get it done in the next week, she don't want to get better. Okay. A lot of people on here don't want to get better. They like the attention. Because that don't make any sense. You got how many kids? What if something
5.
happens to your kid? And don't you know you're going to want to know what's going on with your child? I'm sorry. I listen, I can't. Either you want to do better or you don't. And to me, doesn't sound like she
I don't
wants to
want to
do better.
say, how can I say this? Ignorance is no excuse to me, but I I do believe that there is some form of possible learning disability, and
Okay.
a challenge. Um, I know that there is some PTSD, um, and I'm not making excuses, but literally, I told her, and then I wrote it on a piece of paper, because this is one thing. She said, "You gave me so much information. I'm sure I won't remember it." And I said, "Let me write it down for you so you can take it with you, so that you make sure that you have this, because this is vital for your health. Now, I'm
Wait,
I'm thankful that
Deborah,
she felt
wait a
well
minute.
enough to
Hold
talk.
on, hold on, hold on. Okay, wait a minute, because now I'm getting kind of I listen. 5 kids. Is there any support for this lady? How does
Um, she is married. Um, she's a stay-at-home mother. She and the husband both have gone through substance misuse. She
okay,
has been to jail because of her misuse problems.
okay,
Lot of past baggage, some mental health stuff, um, some molestation took place in her life as a child from a family member.
okay.
Um, she has a lot of scars and a lot of battles.
Okay,
What?
see, this is different because we're dealing with. So now I know a little bit more. This is different. Now, had it have been a regular, everyday 9 to 5 worker, we
Mm-mm.
would have. Okay, this is different. So I understand that. I understand what we're dealing with now. Because at first I was like, girl, are you for real? But okay, so now we know what we're dealing with, and that is understandable. The good thing is, was it court approved for her to come into your facility, or did she just? How did she find you?
She is wanting help. She is wanting, it was a self-driven thing, not a court situation.
Nice.
Her court situation is part of her past, and she has broken relationships with two older children that are in their 20s
Oh,
who cuss her out, are very disrespectful, live with her mother, and she's really wanting to work on her so that uh, she can improve that relationship. Her mother is having some um, health challenges, and there's concern that she may not live very long. So
mm.
she's really wanting to work on these relationships because she realizes these children um, are probably going to need her if something does happen to her mother. They have lived with the grandmother since she started her addiction. And she was about 14, 15 years old, apparently, when she started misusing substances.
Okay, gotcha. I was gonna say, girl, listen, but that I can understand now, and the process will be a while. But yeah, I can talk to her and understand what needs to happen to get better, to move forward. But had it have been some of these regular people, well, let's just put it out there. Um, there's a lot of people that need the help, and they don't realize that they've been struggling and
Hmm.
for a long time,
Hmm.
but didn't realize now we're in 2023 and people are wanting to make healthy choices. They're wanting to do something to get in alignment, be their best self. Listen, everything I said, you can hear people say it now, but will they come and get any help from me? They'll go other places. And I'm going to tell you something else. Here's another thing I know for a fact. People will call me when it's too late or when it's gotten to the point that it can't be rectified. Um, and this I do know. Even people from home have called me wanting my help, but they wait until it's too late. So that's why I always try to get people to come aboard sooner than later. But for this young lady, my hat goes off to her because she at least recognized, she at least want to make a one she's wanting to make a difference. That
Hmm.
says something right there. That says something. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely. And Jewel, we all are dealing with something, and our something is different.
right,
However, and how we deal with our something may be different. But
right.
all of us have some form of trauma from our childhood. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
And if you haven't fixed it, you are just carrying that stuff on through the rest of your life.
Yep.
And we've got to realize that it's sincere. And like you said, waiting till the last minute. Many times, this is where self care comes in at. We're so busy taking care of everybody else
Mhm.
and helping everybody else.
Yep.
And
I
then
said
we get
that.
put on the back burner, or we're at the bottom of the totem pole. And when we're at the bottom, nobody's at the top to even pull you out of the sinking sand you've got yourself into
Right.
from
And
helping
nobody
people.
wants to hear it. They act like they want to hear it. But when you talk to people on a continuous basis, which is what I do, everybody can't be me because,
Mm-mm.
see, I know how to do that. I know how to balance out. But if you talking to your so-called friends, they don't want to hear it. You know,
No.
they hear you, but they don't hear you. You see,
Well, and the
so
thing that they will say is that, oh, there they go being negative. Well, if me telling the truth is being negative, then call it what you may. The truth is always the truth. But people don't want to
always,
hear that. Now, but they'll be quick to gossip about you. They'll be quick to go tell 10 people what you said.
of
And
course.
they want all that drama to go along with it. But when you're genuinely pouring your heart out, trying to seek resources, they don't want to hear that.
No, they don't want to hear it. But, and when you genuinely have a person who says, call me, I get it, I understand, this is what I do, they don't want to call that person. They want to tell other people, and then they get an attitude. Why? Because they thought that person would listen. You see what I'm saying? They thought they would be their ace boon coon. They thought they would be the one listening to them. But it's not always like that. It takes a special person that can listen and not necessarily be judgmental, but no, they want to say, oh, well, you always have something negative to say. No, I'm telling you what I know. And if I don't know, I'll find out. But just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean that you don't care.
Absolutely. There is a big difference in that.
A big
A big
difference.
difference.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I tell you, Deb, it's a lot. And every time we think we can get on here and get started, it never ceases to amaze me. But like I say, and for all these other people, I don't even know if she's still on here. She's not commenting. People that come on and like your stuff but don't say anything or don't watch for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or what have you, why are you, what? I don't understand that either. Come on and wave and then pop off. That's not serving me well. You know, be I don't know. Listen, anywho, all the people that say they're gonna come on, all the people that, I know everybody's busy, but they're not that busy. If you set your alarm, we're going to come on, and you say you're going to come on and you don't show up, that's your character.
And well, you said something right there. Character, 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 character. People got to watch their character. That's why people don't trust people, Jewel, because of their character. That's it right there.
I I
But
don't know
we've
what's
got to,
going on with this Wi-Fi, but it's starting to get on my nerves. But you're right about that. Character, character, character. Go ahead.
no, I mean, a lot of times people won't talk to you or won't trust you because of your reputation and your character. If they see you gossiping, backbiting, always caught up in a whole bunch of negativity and a lot of drama that is
Hmm.
not meaning anyone any good,
Right.
you, them, or somebody else, they don't want to fool with you.
Right, right. But the ones that have always been consistent, always been real, you're not popular, but yet they'll follow other people that's popular, but they can care less about them. That's another issue. But listen, people are going to learn eventually that we all got to come together. And some of us who have the ear to hear are genuine and to the point. That's another thing I forgot to do. I didn't share this out. Did you? You probably didn't either, but that's okay because I didn't let people know we
Mm,
were coming on. But I will tell you this, I guarantee you they get the notification. Okay?
mm, mm, mm.
They get the
Well, that's
notification.
you know, it's a real talk, and some people don't really want to have those real talk, open conversations. They have dealt with it secretly, however, for so long, and we've got this. If it's not broken, we're not going to do nothing about it. This is the way I've always done it, and as long as it keeps working, I don't have a problem. So I don't need to find new ways of coping or dealing or decompressing or any of those things because I've coped. Internalizing and just hiding it within myself, I'm okay. So if I acknowledge it and get on somebody's platform and start talking about it, then people start talking about me and thinking I have a problem. Who cares? Heck, we all got problems.
Right, right. You're right about that. We all got problems. We may not want to put it all out there, but you can at least talk about the subject at that time.
Absolutely.
You see,
Absolutely. I'm not telling you don't have to show anyone your memoirs or tell them all your business.
right.
And these platforms, you can go privately, you can call people, you can do private consultations, whatever. ever. But don't be like the Long Ranger out there all by yourself and fall off the horse and get hurt and nobody ever knew that something was wrong with you. Don't do that.
Right, right. Because there are people out there that can help you, even though you feel like you don't need the help. But then you got those people. Now, and I'm going to say this, and then we're going to have to uh, I guess we'll break it off. And we can also find another day and time if you want, or if this is the best time, fine with me. I was trying to save our minutes for when we get people to come on the platform. It may be a 2 or 3 hour special. Um, but you had mentioned uh, people coming on the platforms or let's see, I didn't say it too much because now I forgot what I was going to say. um there's people out here that uh say that they don't know who they can depend on, and when they come on these platforms, it's easy for them to just pick a topic, you see, and then engage. And the more you engage, the more you become uh, co- comfortable, and you get to know people on the platforms. Because I've been on many of YouTube platforms or listened to the conversation, and they become just like their neighbor next door. So there are ways to engage, and you don't have to tell everything. But the more you come on, the more acquainted you get, and then you build relationships that way as well.
Jewel, people don't want to build relationships anymore.
I, I'm noticing that too, but I won't say they don't. I'll just say they're so used to being around people, but those people don't serve you. See, and you said they don't want change. You're right. People don't want change, but now is the time to change. Back in the day when we were growing up, what were they saying? We are in the last days. Listen, we can see more now than we could back then of being in the last days. People are going to have to open up and communicate and build relationships. Nobody said you had to go and hang out, spend the night, be their ace boon coon, but you can build virtual relationships, and you take it slow, and then you branch out. The Wi-Fi is cutting up tonight, so we might as well cut it short. I've seen other platforms have problems this week, so we'll cut it short. Uh, and we're already out of time anyway. But dang it, I always forget what I'm gonna say. It's just crazy. Yeah, I think it's just crazy.
Well,
But
it's
we'll
been
come back
awesome.
on.
I think it's been awesome. I think we talked about several things. I believe we shared some nuggets for people to think about, and I will say next week.
Well, thank you for coming on. I had more stuff to say, but I know that other people were having problems with their platforms earlier this week. I thought we were going to be fine, but that's what it's all about on these virtual things. So, as people continue to grow and learn how to do social platforms, um, um, we'll be okay. I mean, that's all we can do. And until next Saturday, if all goes well, we'll come on here again. I will try and maybe post it on all my other platforms to see how we can get a conversation going about health and wellness. Okay. So let's talk about it next time. Thanks everybody for coming on. I enjoyed my Tootsie Rolls. They were good. Got my water, and it was just a snack. So until next time, everybody, peace and blessings. Sorry for the bad connections. We'll talk to you soon. Okay. Enjoy your day and the rest of your evening. Bye bye. Little music going out for you. Bye bye, everyone. Hello there. Put your comments in the bottom. Maybe you'll meet us next week. You're late, whoever you are. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.